going, everyone? Sessiion here. Welcome to the Final Fantasy XIV official and personal tier list for all of the ultimates, and we're gonna do it in order of release. So we're gonna start off with UCoB, the Ultimate Coil of Bahamut, the first one from Stormblood. Blue is all the UCoB phases, and they're broken down pretty much in terms of like the phases and/or trios. So starting off with Twintania, I like Twintania actually. So for record as well, I started doing ultimates like a little bit later in some scenarios. My order of actually doing ultimates, the first one I ever actually touched was Uwu, but then I didn't realize that it wasn't ultimate. Like I was still like a super casual then, and then the first one I actually started progging was T. So it took me a little bit long to get into the Uwu grind, but with Twintania, I actually like it. I think it's a good mechanic, good phase, everything, because ultimates, that was the first time when you start realizing that there's like a lot of puzzles involved, you know, and that there's always kind of like a mystery behind how to actually progress through phases and all that other stuff too. The damage check now obviously is like not there, but like even still for a, you know, mechanics perspective, I really enjoy that it's something that, you know, you got to like think with your brain a little bit, at least when you're first going through it. Now of course if you look at like a guide and it tells you where to stand and all the marker stuff, and you know where to put the neural links for Twin is really cool. But I like that the whole phase has you just kind of organizing and setting that up. Like I think it's really cool that the setup in preparation for the entirety of the fight to get to the final phase, I really like that Twin is responsible for that pretty much. The Twister thing, hilariously enough, is, you know, the meme of UCoB, because, you know, one Twister, it's just like a huge like GG moment and restart. So, you know, obviously I think the latency can kind of like mess with it a little bit, but I think it still just takes like some practice. So once you get more comfortable and familiar with it, then, you know, it's nothing to really like worry too much about. But again, if you not paying attention, then you might send your homies to the wall. I also like that it does spend, you know, with the hatches, it's kind of random which DPS gets it, and it kind of forces a little bit of uptime on their part as well. I think that is pretty cool, so I like that a lot. So Twintani, honestly, good phase. Nail phase, including transition. Transition is cool. I like that it's kind of like a little, you know, reminder of what it was like in T9, because I actually, so it's funny because I actually did the like savage raids and all that stuff for like, what is it, like ARR. I did T1 through 1, I can't English, oh my gosh, T1 through 13, there we go. I did that, and I also did like all the raids I did on like expansion pretty much. So to like see them actually perform this in the ultimate was really cool. So I actually like Nail. Now I think personally Nail is probably one of the best phases ever, because of a lot of reasons. It's really obnoxious. You got the quotes, you know, the quotes are not easy to, you gotta like use your eyes or have like a call out for it. But like if you're going into Party Finder and you're going in there with, I'm assuming that I'm going into it without having like a Discord or anything like that, like it's just me, you know, I studied or practiced and I'm going in there by myself. I like Nail a lot. You have to pay attention to the quotes, even though, you know, again, it's a little organized in certain parts of the quotes. Like you always know that the first one is going to be like an in, then something. Second one's always going to be like a stack, then something, right? I like that a lot. I also really appreciate that the dragons, I love the dragons part of all of it because of how absolutely batty it can get with the randomness, where, you know, all the dragons can be all on the west side, or they can be spread around like a star formation, or whatever, you know, like where they appear is completely random, and you have to like literally adjust and be able to be ready for it, in terms of, you know, when the final part happens, you gotta put down the baits, whatever, and then the dragons fly across. I really like that a lot. I also like that everybody has a part to do in it as well. So Nail, honestly, just an incredible phase across the board. I would love to see a Nail thing again like that, because one thing I really enjoy is when there's so much random, where it kind of forces you to like, you got to pay attention, you know. Like I really like when they incorporate that. So Nail is a perfect example of exactly that. So even if there is a little bit of organization, you know, in and outs and stacks and outs or whatever, and like doom timers and everything like that too. You know, like I would say that it doesn't take away the fact that it's an incredible phase. So I absolutely love nail phase. Awesome, awesome phase. And even to prove my point, this part right here was the most incredible thing I have ever witnessed in a fight. This was the coolest thing ever. I love his appearance out of the blue, you know? So yeah, nail, including transition, the one for going into P2 and P3, S tier. Love it. Quick March. Quick March is honestly really cool. I like that there's 2 different ways that you can do Quick March, but they kind of still have like the same kind of function. Of course, this is the first trio ever, which is really, really cool as well. So I actually really enjoy Quick March. It's funny because the first time I was going through it, I was having a hard time understanding like the timing and kind of overthinking it like a little bit here and there. But all in all, I actually really enjoy. You know, I like Quick March. It was it's cool. It's good. I like it. Good phase overall. So I like Quick March. Blackfire. Ooh. Trying to think though, because Blackfire was like a really, really interesting. You know, there was also 2 different ways you can do it as well, right? You had like the what was it? There was the one where you like look at nail, you run towards nail, or you like run along the wall, so you have all the open space in the middle to do stuff, whatever. I know that there's those 2 strategies. I've never done the one on the wall. I've always done the one where you stand in the middle, you run towards nail, and then you have like, you know, DPS split one way, tanks and healers split another way, and then you just handle the towers and stacks as necessary. It's all right. I mean, you know, I think it's cool. It's nothing. It was very tricky to look at first, but honestly, as somebody who I like struggled in Quick March for like a while, but like once I saw Blackfire, I did it like correctly on my first try, and it was, you know, it's cool. But again, I think Blackfire is a very cool mechanic. I think it's actually really fun. So good move. Fell Ruin. Now I'm gonna put that in A tier. I like Fell Ruin a lot because I like that they had Nail doing quote stuff, and you know, again, a lot of opportunities for either you know, dodging and paying attention with your eyes and all that fun stuff. I almost wish to a small degree, like really small degree, that it was like random, like the quote that Nail has, because the Nail quote always has you either do like an in or a spread, which is cool, like it's fine, but part of me would have really liked for them to randomize it. So it would have, if the quote was entirely random, I would have put Fell Ruin in S tier. But because it's only one of 2 quotes, and then, you know, how you organize and do what, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what it is. So now, again, if they had like a super complicated one, like the in or the out, like, you know, that would be rough. But I think that's kind of the point, though. Like, you can organize it. So if you, where Nail spawns and where you got to go and have that whole spiel, like, I think that how the neural links are set up, you can always, regardless of which quote it is, you can always like prepare for it in a sense, you know what I mean? So I wish that they actually had Fell Ruin have a quote where it's entirely random. So and then you get the follow up with the spread, you know, which can another cool follow up as well. And then you get the Giga Flare and Tank Busters and other fun stuff. So yeah, Fell Ruin, good mech. I like Fell Ruin quite a lot. Heaven's Fall. I really like Heaven's Fall. I like that it's, to me, like, if not Nail, Heaven's Fall is the first, not wall, I want to say, but it's the first one where it's the first mechanic. I would say that even after doing it a bunch of times, you still have the opportunity to mess up Heaven's Fall because you're not paying attention to it, you know what I mean? So I really like Heaven's Fall quite a lot. I'm almost willing to put it in S tier, because again, like, same thing, I like the randomness of it. It, like, where the towers spawn, the way how the dragons dive, you know, all of that is, I mean, you know, you have a limited number of selections, but like, it's still pretty random. So Heaven's Fall, honestly, really, really cool. I like it a lot. So I'm really big fan of Heaven's Fall, because again, even in any party that I join, like if it's a farm party, clear for one, practice, proc party, whatever, like, you're always gonna find moments where people, me included, will just like need to turn their brain on to do Heaven's Fall. So love Heaven's Fall as a mechanic a lot. It's really awesome. 10 strike. You know, 10 strike I actually quite enjoy. Like, I like that the beginning of it has you trying to figure out what to do with the neural links and the hatches, which is really, really cool. I like that it's like triple hatch. It was kind of scary the first time I encountered it. I remember when I got it, I was so nervous with like what to do and where to go. It was pretty obvious, but even still, you know, like sometimes when you get to certain parts of mechanics and ultimates, you don't really know what to do, or at least you do, but you know the panic brain still kind of starts swinging. So 10 strike was one that I mentally had to get over like a hurdle to figure out how to do, and even still, I don't even think I have it down pat. Like, I think I'd still make mistakes if I wasn't really paying attention. But again, same thing. Like, you know, it's like a group effort. Gotta like organize a little bit in terms of who goes where. You can kind of, you know, it's pretty smart that people will use the second set of those earth shakers to position who gets what, and then has to like go spread out and go do their thing. I really enjoy that too. So honestly, 10 strike is a good mech. I like it a lot. It's really cool. I also like that there is a moment where you have to like uptime. You know, like there actually is opportunities in DPS, because then when the Earthshaker goes at the first one, then like Bahamut is targetable. You know, like if the mechanic was like a moment where there was no damage output whatsoever between both like Neuralinks and hatches and then the Shirkers, then the Shakers, if they either were there or if Bahamut wasn't targetable, then I think I would have put it down to B tier, because I honestly like it when you can actually do damage while also doing mechanics. I think that's like really, it kind of lets you like work for it, you know. So 10 strike, good mech. Grand Octet is, I'll tell you what, Grand Octet is a very cool mechanic. I think I'm a little biased though, because I really enjoy the fact that there's two ways to do it, I believe, right? Like, isn't there a way to, like, I know the one way that everyone does it, at least in NA, is that they all stand in the middle, look for Bahamut, and then if it's, what is it? If it's counter, you go clock, and if it's, wait, what is it? No. It's, if it's cardinal, you go counterclock, and then if it's intercardinal, then you go clockwise, I think, right? Something like that. I always forget. I can execute it if I get there, but right now thinking about it, it's all like muscle memory for me, so I don't. Anyways, so Grand Octet's really cool. I like that you have like an organized way to do it, and like I like the complexity of, you know, trying to figure out who has the dives for which ones, and then like who hasn't gotten the dive and it has to be the twin dive. I like that a lot. The only thing that I'm not the biggest fan of is that there's like a cheese for it. The LB3 cheese, just to kind of not care about the towers in the stack, is like, it's cool that you can do that and if someone thought about it and like it works, but I almost wish that there was a way to like bypass that. So I would have liked for them to kind of give it like a, you know, like you're required 4 people something without stacking or whatever, you know. So Grand Octet's cool. I like it. I wish it was a little bit more like, if the 4 people have to take the twisters or the towers, you have to do that, and then the, you know, I like that the difficulty of that phase, it has the opportunity to be very difficult, but it's kind of cheesed by the LB3. Ads phase. Hey, look, that goes up there. That's no question. I love ads phase because it's the most stressful phase that you might experience in an ultimate, and you know, it's just like, it's so crazy. Every time you get to ads phase, everyone has got like their shakies and they're freaking out, and they like, you know, you got to remind yourself constantly to just kind of like, okay, like okay, you do this, you go here, and then, you know, like you just, it doesn't matter what job you're playing, everybody's got the shakies, and it's scary. It's actually so fun. I still have shakies even when I do ads as well. It doesn't matter what job I play. I've gone in as every possible DPS, and it does not matter. I have the shakies every time, because you just never know what happens, is the best part about that. Like, someone can hit a twister, somehow the triple quote thing is fire. Again, I wish the triple quote was like insanely random, but the fact that it's not is also still okay. Doesn't take away the fact that the phase is still godlike. So I love ads phase. It's probably my favorite phase in all of UCoB. And it's just, you know, because it's just so stressful. So, and if anything, the ads phase kind of keeps me humble because it reminds me, like, hey, like, you still, you know, even when you've done this and you should be like kind of smooth braining it because of how many times you've done it, like, you will still die to something and it could be your fault. Like, just don't forget that. You know, that's what I love about ads phase. So, ads phase S tier, love it. At least there's golden. You know, golden, it's kind of unfortunate to me that golden is like the victory lap of the phase, you know, because Golden Bahamut is really cool. I really like Golden Bahamut like a lot. Like visually, the you know, again, like it's the shakies, you got the buff to do damage and like you look incredible doing it. All that stuff, right? You know, you get the Mornifaz and the Akmorns, and then the Exaflares, and you know, unfortunately, everyone at one point in time eats an Exaflare, even in 2024. I'm a prime example of this. But that being said, though, you know, that's it though, right? There's only like 3 mechanics in the entire fight, and that's literally it. So it's kind of like a again, victory lap. It's kind of what everyone perceives it to be. I feel like it's awkward though that respectably, golden is the easiest phase out of all this. I don't know if I mean, don't take that with like a truth to it all, you know. I feel like people do feel that that's how it is because again, like golden is relatively an organized phase, you know. The randomness factor that only comes into play is the spawning of the Exaflares, which again, shakies will get you killed some way, somehow if you do it. But the truth is that if you are able to get to golden, you can probably with confidence be like, you know what, this is a clear. Even if one person dies or something of the nature, you know. So again, I wish that I do appreciate though that like because of how intense golden is, that even mitigation is still like a requirement. So I really enjoy golden. I wish it's a really good final boss design, but fight wise it's kind of like, you know, it's cool. It's nothing crazy, but again, I feel like everyone kind of perceives it as like a victory lap. Now I would argue that, you know, because I didn't do this on patch, I think people might put golden like a little bit higher because of the difficulty scaling of what it was, but because of how it is now, you know, I would probably put it where it is here. So that's all that there is to it. But honestly, I like golden a lot, and the weapon designs are really cool too. You know, the final look of the UCoB weapons are fire. I like them a lot, but there are some that I'm like more favored towards. So, like, I'm a big fan of Dark Knight and Dragoon, and I like Samurai. So, you know, those are what it goes on to. Yeah, and hopefully with the future patches to come for Dawn Trail, we can actually experience more potential case scenarios of weapons, because I would, like me, I'm a Gunbreaker main, so I would absolutely love a UCoB Gunbreaker weapon. You could easily inspire me to do Gunbreaker and UCoB more frequently if I ever had the chance to get those kind of weapons. So that's the UCoB tier list for today. Yeah, so tune in next time. We'll check out Ulu. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.